quick little video. Hi, welcome back to my channel. So what does it mean when people say that they are triggered? We've been using that word a lot lately, and to me, it's always felt like we're using it the wrong way. A trigger is the spark of a chain reaction. It's a first step that unleashes a process that ends up in something bigger. Think of the trigger of a gun. When you pull the trigger, it creates an action that creates a motion, that creates a chemical reaction that ends up in an explosion out of the chamber of a bullet that can cause unknown damage, right? So when people say, I am triggered, or I could be triggered, or that thing is triggering me, it sounds as if the word is being used incorrectly. Because I think what they mean to say is, this bothers me, this is disturbing me, this scares me, which is not the same as necessarily starting a chain reaction. So that's the first thing. I think the word is being used incorrectly and it's being used too loosely. But the other part of this is people, when they announce that something is triggering them, it's almost like a warning to everybody around. I want you to stop what you're doing because this thing is bothering me so much that I can end up in a really bad place mentally. So everybody around me needs to stop, or at least warn me that you're about to say something that is upsetting to me. And I need y'all, the world, to accommodate me because of this thing that bothers me. And what people need to understand is that I put out this little short and I posted it on my other social media, and it seemed to have resonated with some people. Take a listen. It's not your fault that you're damaged, but it is 100% your responsibility to heal from that damage. And that was something that had come to my mind that morning. I was thinking about this, and I was thinking, when someone is hurt or damaged, or they go through something traumatic, it's obviously not their fault. It's not their fault. For most of us, most of our traumas, most of our formative experiences happen in childhood, at a time when we're not in control of ourselves, our surroundings, of the circumstances around us. And so we tend to suffer a lot of trauma during those formative years. But then, what then? Do we then have permission to go through the rest of our lives hurting other people, expecting the world to bow down to our traumas, to us to not incur more damage to the person? Is that what is expected? Is that what our society is supposed to do? And the answer, surprisingly, to a lot of people are going to be shocked to hear this: no. Society is not responsible for the healing you need from the traumas you incurred in your past. Granted, once again, it is not your fault, but once you become an adult, once you have agency over your body, over your thoughts, over your circumstances, it is your responsibility to heal from that trauma. Once we have a clearer understanding of what happened to us and the steps that we might need to recover from that, it is our responsibility to handle it ourselves. Imagine going through life thinking that the world owes you a softer landing place because of what happened to you. Imagine if you think that that is the key for your healing, that the world has to rise up and decide collectively to help you heal from your trauma. It would be wonderful, but that is not how the world works. You are the one who will benefit the most from healing from your trauma. So what you have to do is find the way to heal from what happened to you so that you don't pass down that trauma to the people around you and, God forbid, your children and the next generations that come after. And this is where triggers come in. See, when people expect the world to give them a trigger warning for anything that might be upsetting, or you expect the world to stand back and not do things that might impact you in a negative way, that might affect you in a negative way, that might bring up negative feelings from your trauma, you are doomed. Because the world is going to continue turning and ticking the way it always has. You're going to encounter people who are going to say things that are upsetting to you. And you just have to find the way to heal that wound so you can function in a world where everybody's minding their business and everybody's acting in a way that doesn't cater to your trauma. And see, the triggers are there not to let the world know, okay, you can't say this because if you say this, it's going to upset me. The triggers are there to tell you, hey, this is an area where you need to work on. You really need to work on this because every time you hear that word, it's very upsetting to you. It puts you in a really dark place. So we need to unpack this situation. We need to unpack the trauma that causes that word to trigger a chain reaction that could end up in a really bad place for you. You need to find the tools to heal yourself from that reaction so that next time somebody unsuspecting uses that word, it doesn't affect you in the same way. So you're not a prisoner of this trigger. The triggers are there to tell us, to let us know this is what you need to work on. You will not always get a trigger warning. You are not always going to be entering into safe spaces. You have to create that for yourself. And the safest place for you is any place where you show up as a fully healed human. That means that your safe place is right here. You are your safe place. You are that place where you can go back, where when you hear things that make you feel uncomfortable, that you can go back into your mind and think, okay, this is bothering me. I see the line between this word and my trauma. Now, this person who just said this has nothing to do with my trauma. This person has never done anything to hurt me. This feeling that I'm feeling right now, this thing that was triggered by the word and is now creating this chain reaction of uncomfortable feelings. This is the result of the trauma and me not having found a way to reconcile this into my mind. So my job, my assignment is to put into work the tools that are going to help me to kind of unravel this knot of pain and anger and discomfort. I need to unravel that so that wherever I show up in the world and whatever words I hear no longer trigger this chain reaction that could land me in a really bad place. I am my safe place. We have to be very careful when we talk about mental health that we don't end up in a place where we lie to people and tell them that, oh yeah, in a civilized world, we will protect you. We will all come together and make sure that nothing we say upsets you, that nothing you see brings back memories or brings back a PTSD reaction. That is not, if we as a society decide that we are going to become that kind of a society that is that safe place for everybody, we're going to walk around not saying anything. Nobody's going to want to say anything because almost any word can trigger a painful memory for someone. There is someone out there who certain words and certain topics and certain things will bring up bad feelings, and we just cannot ensure that every place is going to be a safe place for everybody. So the safest bet that you have that is in your best interest is to work on yourself, heal your own traumas. And everybody doesn't have access to therapy. Therapy can be very expensive. I understand that. There are self-help books that you can avail yourself of. There is lots of information on the internet, on YouTube. You can just Google certain conditions and you can find a myriad of solutions and methodologies that might help you. There are tons of methods. There's tapping, there's meditation, there's prayer. You can read very valuable information. There are so many tools out there that are available to you at no cost. At no cost. The first thing you need to do is understand that step one is I need to heal myself. Step two is work on that healing. And step three, step out into the world as a brave person who knows that they can handle whatever the world throws at them because you are your safe space. I hope this video was helpful to you guys. Let me know what you think. Do you disagree with me? Do you agree with me? Please leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Are you somebody who has worked on yourself, who has healed from trauma? Please leave some words of encouragement in the comment section. If you believe that it is the world's responsibility to take care of you and make sure that you're always comfortable, leave us a comment and tell us why. Share this video with others who you think this might be useful for. Also, if you'd like to hear more from me, please subscribe to my channel. Please leave a like if you enjoyed it. And hopefully I will see you in the next video. Bye.